x equals to a sin plus cos, so you need to multiply this both and it is equals to x. So y equals to b into sin minus cos. Prove that x square plus y square equals to a squared plus b squared. So now we are going to solve this question. So first you need to find out the value of x squared plus y squared. Okay, so you know that x equals to a plus a into sin plus cos. Okay, now there is a rule in powers and exponents that if a equals to b into c, then a squared equals to b squared into c squared. Okay, so now we are going to do the same thing here. X squared equals to a squared into sin plus cos whole squared. Okay, now we got the now this is the value of x squared equals to a squared into sin plus cos whole squared. Okay, now this is an element. Okay, this is a value. Sin plus cos whole squared has a value. Okay, and this is a squared, and okay, done. Now what we are going to do here is that you can't simplify a squared further, but you can simplify this with the rule of a plus b whole squared equals to a squared plus b squared plus 2ab. Okay, done. So we are going to apply the same thing here, that it is sin squared plus cos squared plus 2 sin cos. Okay, there is a rule in mathematics that sin squared plus cos squared equals to 1. So it is 1 plus 2 sin cos. Okay, now here we know that sin squared plus cos squared equals to 1, right? See, we know that sin squared plus cos squared equals to 1. So therefore you can write cos as cos now 2 sin cos, we have this, we can simplify this further, it is 1 plus. Okay, now cos, you can write it as we know that sin squared plus cos squared equals to 1. So therefore we can write from that equation that cos squared equals to 1 minus sin squared. Okay, so therefore now you can write the value of cos is square root of 1 minus sin squared. Okay, so this is all clear. So the next thing we are going to do is multiply this with sin. Okay, this is the value of cos, you multiply cos with sin and then with 2. Okay, now sin into cos equals to sin into square root of 1 minus sin squared. Okay, so this is a multiplication. So now sin into square root of 1 is 1, so sin into 1 is sin. Okay, now sin into minus sin square, now you can see this, now divide this both into two different components. Okay, square root of 1 and square root of minus sin squared. Okay, now divide this both into two components and multiply separately. Now you will cancel this both. So we know that the square root of minus sin squared is minus sin. Okay, so now you get this minus sign into sin, you know that it is minus sin. Okay, now sin into minus sin is minus sin squared. Okay, now this is, we keep it in bracket, we multiply this with 2 and this is a component. Okay, this is only one component. Remember the value of x square is a square into sin plus cos whole squared. Now this value is this. Okay, a squared is, we can't simplify it. Okay, now you can write that x squared equals to a into 2 sines minus sine squared. Okay, now you need to notice that this whole element has a value, and you also need to notice that sine minus sine squared also has a separate value. So you should not combine them, so you should keep them in the brackets. So now what you are going to do is, so okay, we have found out the value of x squared. Now similarly the value of y squared. Now what you need to understand here carefully is that it is sine minus cos. Okay, it is sine minus cos. Okay, hope you understood that it is sine minus cos. So this is sine minus cos. So when you, so we see this element, we have bought it as a plus b whole squared. We did this, we got this. See, concentrate on this, because cos has here is minus symbol. So but when you are converting this into this form, then you will get that plus cos squared only, because minus cos squared into minus cos squared equals to plus cos squared. Just imagine that this is my sine minus cos whole squared. Okay, here it is not plus symbol, just imagine it is a minus symbol. Then you will do this, then you will do the same thing here, right? A plus b whole squared equals to, you will do the same thing. But when you are when you got this b squared, that is cos squared, then you will do that minus sign into minus cos into minus cos, that will be plus cos. So however the value will be same. So I am going to write the same value, because it, that is, here it is b, don't forget the whole squared like me. Okay, and it is into sine minus sine squared. Okay, hope you understood this till here. Now we are going to add these things. Okay, a squared into 2 sine minus sine squared. Okay, hope you got this. And now you add this with b squared into 2 sine minus sine squared. Okay, now what you want to know here is, we are simply adding this. Okay, now we have to add the like terms. We will add this, so we will add this simply. 2 sine minus sine squared, we are adding the like terms. Okay, plus 2 sine minus sine squared. Okay, now you are adding this. Now we will get that this is, now this is basically 4. Okay, let's go simple. Now this is with 2, and this is with 2. Okay, all this is multiplied with 2, and this whole thing is multiplied with 2. When you want that, now we are basically adding the same things together, right? We are basically adding the same things together. That means we are multiplying with it with 2. So you can write it as 4 into sine minus sine squared. Okay, because we are simply multiplying it with 2. 2 into 2 is 4. Okay, hope you got this. So now 4 sine minus sine squared. So okay, now you are going to see is, you multiply this 4 sine. Okay, that is 4 sine minus 4 sine squared. Okay, so this is our formula. Now Now so there is a law in max that this 4 sine this sine minus sine squared 4 sine minus 4 sine squared is equals to 0. So here we need to know that, so this both the sum is equals to 0. Okay, so we cross off this. What we are left is a square plus b squared. So therefore it is proved that x square plus y squared equals to a squared plus b squared. Hope you got it. We did nothing here. See the sum of these both is 0. There is a law that the sum of these both is 0, and we multiply so it is base, so these both sum is 0, and so if we cut off this, what we are base, so what we are left with in the end is a square plus b square. So that's why, so we can also say here that x squared equals to a squared, because here we see that 4 into sine minus sine squared equals to 0, right? So obviously we can see that it is. So now see, there is one more thing we need to know, that this is 2 sine minus sine squared into 2, right? That is basically 2 sine minus sine squared plus 2 sine minus sine squared, right? So this is the sum of these both, right? It is 0. So it is also the twice of 2 sine minus sine squared. So therefore, so you can also, so the value is 0, right? You want the value of 2 into sine minus sine squared, then you can divide the 0 by 2 and the answer is 0. So we can also say that x squared equals to a squared and y squared equals to b squared, and x squared plus y squared is obviously equals to a squared plus b squared. Hope you got it. So thank you.